Coming up on Look Today, well, a forum on J1 work visas took place today in Lake George, and we were there. Plus, Lake George Park Commission making an important announcement. More on that coming up. And the 45th Annual Adirondack Balloon Festival kicks off, so to speak, tomorrow. I've got those details all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson. This is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Bill McCoskey. Now, he's the owner of Divorce Mediation Center, and he's here to talk about the process of mediating a divorce with as little stress as possible. Think about that. I also sit down with Melissa Phelps. Now, she's second place national winner of Skills USA, and we're joined by Jeff Rescott. He's advisor for BOCES, and they're here to talk about Melissa representing New York State in this very prestigious national competition. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, check this out. A forum for J1 work visas took place today at Fort William Henry Conference Center in Lake George. Now, the discussion was on foreign workers who are a driving force, by the way, in local tourism industry. And the forum served as a platform for local business owners to pose questions and learn more about the program and the future of immigration. Now, we were at the forum and we spoke to Mayor Bob Blais of Lake George about the importance of keeping this kind of dialogue open.
Well, I think this forum will be a learning experience. They have representatives from all over the country here that have experienced programs like ours. The representatives from Washington, the Department of State, and from the Internal Revenue Service. So I think especially the employers and the landlords and those of us in government that kind of oversee the programs, we need to learn all we can about it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, in other news, well, here's a story I didn't want to have to report. The Lake George Park Commission made an announcement today that Asian clams are on the rise again in Lake George. Now, the commission introduced, as you might recall, a boat inspection program, and that was to prevent the further spread of a lot of invasive species. They did that in 2010. However, it is costly to remove the clam population once it has settled in an area. So we're going to dig into this, pun intended, with more updates when we speak to Dave Wick of the Park Commission tomorrow. Switching from news to weather, well, another day of summer. Let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser with your first look weather updates. You look at the national map for tonight. A few areas of high pressure along the Gulf of Mexico as well as towards the Appalachian Mountains. Warm front boundary making its way through parts of the Great Lakes. A weak cold front is going to eventually stall out for a little bit as it makes its way towards parts of Illinois into Wisconsin. Another cold front boundary nearby our area towards New England. And then, of course, Tropical Storm Jose weakening as it makes its way through just off the East Coast. Is going to meander over the weekend as well. So we're going to see probably a few clouds, otherwise we should remain dry with regional temperatures in the 50s and 60s. And we'll see 59 Clifton Park, Ballston Spot 59, as well as Greenwich and Fort Edward, Whitehall 58. So we look at the Capital District forecast towards Glens Falls 58, the overnight low, and then up towards elevation in Pottersville. And in Johnsburg, we'll see temperatures dropping to lower to mid-50s. We'll see partly cloudy skies with a north breeze, and we'll see more sunshine on our Thursday, highs about 80. Out the door forecast, we'll see some mild temps, partly cloudy. Definitely kind of feeling like more towards August, maybe July rather than early September. Lower to mid-60s through the 8 a.m. hour, and we'll continue to see warmer than average temperatures well into the forecast, and even hot temps Sunday and Monday, highs in the upper 80s. And no threat of wet weather in the forecast, just warming temperatures throughout the next 5 days. That's a look at the first look weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now I send it back to you, Jesse.
Thank you, Clarence. We love you. As a matter of fact, we might take Friday off, everybody. Back to the news. This is hard to believe, but the 45th Annual Adirondack Balloon Festival kicks off tomorrow, Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport in Queensbury. Now, the famous Dream Ship balloon has been added to this year's event lineup and will be featured in the opening ceremonies. That's a big deal. We spoke to Mark Donahue. He's president, board of directors of the festival.
This is our 45th anniversary event kicking off Thursday in Crandall Park. It's going to be a pretty spectacular kickoff, and we're very excited. Specialty balloons galore coming from across the nation. The flag balloon from New Jersey, the owl balloon coming all the way from Arizona. So we're going to have a great presence. The Scarecrow balloon is coming back, and a brand new debut of Scorch, the dragon. So all said and done, we have 7 or 8 special shapes and just shy of 100 balloons overall.
Wow. Up next, I sit down with Bill McCoskey. He's the owner of Divorce Mediation Center, and he's here. He's going to talk about the process of mediating a divorce with as little stress as possible. It's a very interesting interview. Plus, I also sit down with Melissa Phelps. Now, she's a second-place national winner, Skills USA, and we're joined by Jeff Rescott. He's an advisor, BOCES, and they're here to talk about Melissa representing New York State in this very prestigious national competition. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. Just a couple of quick lookouts for tonight. My wife and I went last night to the Rockman Record Club right here at Cafe Lena in Saratoga. The album that Chuck Vaskanyan was featuring was Hotel California, and as usual, Chuck did an amazing job, a very in-depth analysis of this really amazing album, cut by cut. And he does that. It's once a month on a Tuesday, and I'll keep you informed about that, and we'll have Chuck on for interviews. But Chuck is really fine-tuning this thing too, by the way. And anybody who's a fan of Prairie Home Companion or Friday Night Jazz with Reuben Jackson or My Place on NPR will recognize that there's an awful lot of personality coming through in the descriptions, including things that maybe you didn't want to know about, but you're glad to find out about, including phase shifting. Thank you, Chuck. It was a great night. And one other lookout, this issue of changing the form of government in Saratoga, I'm getting a lot of questions about this and a lot of input. So we're going to develop a forum on this and invite both sides to come on and speak about it. So it's kind of a debate, but it's really more of a forum so that you as a voter, when November rolls around, will be informed so you can make the right decision about this. And we're going to keep you posted on that as well. All right, tonight on Look TV, Saratoga City Council meeting. It's a new one. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.